In the book, you talk about something called a fear spiral, and how the Apostle Paul gets into this spiral, and how Jesus then kind of advises him, effectively counsels him to how to deal with it. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, in Acts 18, we know that Paul's going to Corinth, and if you read the second letter of Corinthians, he talks about how he went to Corinth with great fear and trembling. So he's anxious, he's fearful, he's worried. And in the passage, Jesus actually appears to him in a vision and counsels him. And I've looked at that passage, and there are at least 5 phases of fear. Phase 1 is just worry and fear. God gets smaller, other people and their situations get bigger. Phase 2, paralysis. You start to shut down. You begin to get silent. You feel helpless. Things feel out of control. Phase 3, isolation. You start feeling as if you're alone. Phase 4, paranoia. Other people are scary and out to get me. And then phase 5, hopelessness. Why do anything? And Jesus meets Paul in that fear, anxiety spiral and says these things to each of those phases. Phase 1, do not be afraid. Phase 2, paralysis. Keep on speaking. Keep on doing what you're doing. Phase 3, isolation, for I am with you. Jesus reminds Paul that the basis for his commands is, I'm with you. Phase 4, paranoia. No one's going to attack or harm you, Paul. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to take care of you. And then phase 5, hopelessness. Jesus says, I have many people in this city that I want you to share the gospel with, and these are your potential future brothers and sisters in Christ. And what's interesting about that counsel is people say, well, if Jesus were to appear to me in a vision, I wouldn't be afraid either. But what's unique about this is Jesus really doesn't say anything new to Paul that Paul couldn't have already read in the Old Testament. Do not be afraid. I am with you. Be courageous. Keep on moving forward. Same truths. The benefit that Paul has and that we actually have is that we know in light of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection that God really, really means what he says. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Jesus has come. He has dwelt among us, and he has suffered and died, been raised. He's given us his Spirit. He is with us. And that's of great comfort. And it was to Paul. And he stays in Corinth for 1.5 years, and a lot of great things happened as a result of him coming out of that fear spiral and moving back into ministry in Corinth.